Sunday is a battle. I'm your man, Will McCann, and along with my partner, Tellis Everett, we're a couple of fans from the heart of the Midwest, bringing you real talk and weekly breakdowns from the NFC North, the Black and Blue Division. So whether you rep green and gold, Honolulu Blue, purple and gold, or you rep the monsters of the Midway, you are in the right place. So lace up, strap in, and let's talk Black and Blue. Tellis, my man, what is up?
What's going on, Will McCann? Hey, friends and kinfolk, thank you for joining us. And thank you for supporting the Black and Blue podcast. Tell all your football friends about how much fun we have here. Just a quick reminder, Will and I are real estate agents in the state of Michigan. So if you know anybody that's thinking about buying, selling, or investing in the next 3 days, 3 weeks, or 3 months, just reach out to us and we'll help you score a touchdown in real estate. Will McCann, let's get into this draft.
Yo, my man, let's talk about the NFL draft that concluded a couple of weeks ago. Last week we talked about the draft as it related to the teams in NFC North, and today we're going to get into the first round and talk about the impact across the league. Um, Tell us, my man, you got any thoughts before we dive in here?
I just want to say if you guys have any opinions or agree or disagree with us on what you're going to hear today, just hit us up. Reach out to us, hit us up on Spotify, YouTube. We also have our emails up there for you to contact us at too. We love the feedback. We are by no means experts. I don't know about Will, but I did not do any research on college players. So this is just going to be barbershop talk. Nothing analytical. I mean, there'll be a little bit of
Right,
analytical
right.
because Will's over there.
There's gonna be some analysis here, but like my man said, based on what we know about the players, without doing deep dives, what we know about these teams and the kind of players the teams like, and what we think
Right.
the impact is gonna be, and then some of the trades that happen. And there are our thoughts on the trade, but like my man said, this is straight barbershop talk today, right?
That's right.
As it
That's right.
relates to the NFL draft for 2026. So let's
Yes.
get into it, my man. Let's take a look here and starting from the top. You can see this, Tellis.
Yes.
Okay. Looking at these are the first 8 picks of the NFL draft. Starting at the top with the Las Vegas Raiders selecting Fernando Mendoza. Then what are your thoughts about uh, the Raiders taking a quarterback and particularly Mendoza first?
Yeah. We could go back months ago when I said that I felt like Mendoza wasn't or shouldn't have been the first pick for the Raiders. They could have gone somewhere else. But
Was overrated the word you used? Or did I
yeah,
make that? Or did I make that up?
overrated, played in the system, has some great weapons,
You
receivers
even
making incredible catches.
but you posted some graphics that compared him to a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Right, exactly. If you don't remember, Will's talking about Shador. And Shador actually had better college numbers than Fernando Mendoza. So
So yeah, it
Shador
remains,
is a Pro Bowl quarterback.
and he is a Pro Bowl quarterback. Yes, that's on his resume.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
go ahead.
so that being said, my original take on what I felt the Raiders should have done um, with the signing of Kirk Cousins, however, I
Hmm.
feel like that's a good pick for them because
Oh yeah,
now you don't need the young man to come out there and play game one. If you're the Raiders, you might be looking at this kid coming in, depending on how the season's going, because if Kirk Cousins lights it up, this kid might not play at all this season, right?
that is possible.
But
Yes.
if you get to game 7, 8, or 9, and you're a 500 team, you can start to throw Mendoza out there to see what you got, see where he's at, what his progress is. So I think I feel more comfortable with this pick at number one, simply because they went out and they got Kirk Cousins, who, by the way, is still the best
Yeah,
quarterback in the NFL when it comes to making money with less accolades than anybody else.
the greatest negotiator in NFL history is Kirk
That's
Cousins.
right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Mendoza has the physical traits that you would want in a quarterback. I still think he's pretty raw. I agree with you. The Raiders signing Cousins makes this pick. It gives you a little more comfort with the pick, I should say,
Correct.
because the kid doesn't have to play early. Then you have to make the decision, when is he ready to play? Is it going to be after you go through an entire season with Kirk Cousins, the way the Chiefs did with Alex Smith before they gave the team over uh, to Mahomes?
Hmm.
Are they going to do what the Giants did with Eli Manning? And the Giants were 5-4 with um, what's my man's name? Kurt Warner as the quarterback. And they decided to go ahead. It's time for us to put Eli in, even though they were, in position to make a playoff push. I think they ended up missing the playoffs that year after they put him in. And
Yeah.
they ended up trading Kirk to the Cardinals. Kirk went on to win another MVP and take a team to the Super Bowl. But the Giants made the decision. Hey, now's the time to put the young man in. So it'll be interesting to see how long the Raiders go with Kirk Cousins before they decide to put that it's time for Mendoza.
Yeah. Right. The only
Yeah,
thing I worry about is the locker room. Who gets to lead the prayer between those two? Pre-game and post-game prayer.
I will say that that'll probably be Kirk. He can probably find a way to negotiate that also.
But the other thing I wanted to add too is what you got Tom Brady in the office too. So again, if you're looking at building a championship team and you don't have to run this kid out there right away, you can allow him to develop
Yeah.
through practice, on the field, in the office, looking at tape, looking at film, studying what Kirk Cousins is doing, learning from Kirk Cousins and with the guidance of a Tom Brady there too, just in his ear, pick up the phone, say, "Hey, how you feeling? What's going on? Did you see this? This is one of the things that I noticed." Just having that mentorship, you you don't have to rush the kid, and that's my primary concern. Is like if he was coming in, he needed to start game one. I was not feeling good about the Raiders at all.
I have a lot of concerns about that. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I would agree. I would agree. Let's move on and talk about the second pick. David Bailey, an edge from Texas Tech University. He's the second overall pick. Some people feel like he was the best athlete in this draft. So, what do you think about the Giants? I'm sorry, the Jets taking David Bailey.
I feel like the Jets taking Bailey was one of those picks where the Jets couldn't go wrong because they
Yeah,
had so much. They had so much that they needed to, and as we look at the first round, we'll notice that it's a defensive heavy as well. So
yeah.
yeah, I think it's a great pick for him. He'll probably get in there, if not first game, probably early in the season, start to do some damage. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. What about you?
I'm rooting for Aaron Glenn, first of all.
Right.
And, a guy who can play on the edge, impact the quarterback, and make a difference is always needed on your defense, right? And you are right. We had this discussion last week when you talked about the Detroit Lions drafting need versus the best available. It's easy to draft the first available when all you have is need. Right?
Hmm.
So, yeah, I agree with you. It's a can't go wrong pick. But some people can mess that up. They could have taken Jeremiyah Love, right? Because they felt he's number one on their board. Um, but yeah, they take a player who can impact on defense, and he is was listed as one of the best players in this draft. Moving on, let's talk about Jeremiyah Love. He's the first offensive player, the first offensive player off the board, a running back from Notre Dame. So tell me what you know about Jeremiyah Love.
Well, first off, I would say that the Cardinals taking a running back in the top three, man, that's a big. Uh, eh, how can I say that? How can I say this? I want to say that if you're drafting, you probably don't want to take a running back in the top five because isn't that salary guaranteed? Like you're paying them more money than you
It's
usually
only
would.
you have to. Everybody's contract is guaranteed the first 4 years. It's the fifth year the team has the option on whether or not they select to guarantee the fifth year. After the end of the third year, the team has to decide are they going to guarantee the fifth year.
Okay, maybe it's not the guarantee. Maybe it's the amount of money that he's going to
Mhm.
earn. Is more than probably what you want to pay a rookie running back. But what were they going to do? I mean, they need something because they're running out there with Jacoby Brissett at QB, right? So
that doesn't spark confidence in you running Jacoby out there.
not that it doesn't spark confidence, but he needs someone to help him on the field.
Jacoby needs
So
help, right? Jacoby's not
so
going to carry the team. He needs help. Yes.
right. So if a Jeremiah Love can come in there and he can be like um a stalwart back and carry that ball probably 20 at least 25 times a game and he can hold up, it's a great pick for him.
Yeah. I will say, and we've admittedly said we haven't studied these college players, right? And I watch a few college games every year. I'm not as big a college football fan as I am an NFL fan, but I will watch a few college games, especially big games, right? And when I saw what I saw from Jeremiyah Love at Notre Dame, he didn't, to me, to appear to be as good as either Saquon Barkley or Bijan Robinson. And to me, if you're going to take a back that high, he has to be one of those two guys, right? I
Right.
can see you taking one of those two guys that high. I don't see him being quite that good. So I that is cause for concern for me. Um, the fact that they had already gone out and signed Tyler Algiers. Now they have a
Right.
really strong running back room. And I had said last week, when you're drafting, I don't think you should ever look at, I won't say that. I think you primarily want to go in looking for the best athletes available. And if that athlete turns out to be a player you have at a position of strength, I would still draft that player. Now you have an elite room, whatever that room is. Particularly though, I would want one of those rooms to be the room closest to the ball, though, either my O line or my D line. Having a deep running back room, um, I get the financial aspect of it also. The financial aspect to me is less of an issue, depending upon how your team is constructed. And I would say if they were a team closer to if they were a playoff team that didn't have a dynamic running back and they were above average on defense, then I could see a team like that taking a Jeremiyah Love. But a team building and in development taking a running back who's not, to me, not a difference making running back that high is a cause for concern for me. But we'll see. Maybe the kid is Saquon Barkley, right? But I just haven't seen it so far.
Yeah.
And then the next guy, we've got Carnell Lake, wide receiver, Ohio State, taken number 4 by the Tennessee Titans. Tell me what you know about Carnell Lake and what do you think about that pick?
Well, Tate is I think we talked about Ohio State and the amount of receivers that they produce.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, so Tate going to the Titans. This is a great fit for Cam Ward because you get a receiver that is smooth, really good at running routes. He's not explosive, but if you're thinking about previous Ohio State receivers,
Hmm.
he's in that Jackson Smith and Jigba type of mood.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I think it's a great, great fit. You got a young team. You're putting together a young playmaker in Cam Ward with Tate. I think that's a good, good, good pick for Tennessee. I'm excited to see what that's going to look like. But I mean, he's strong at the catch point.
hmm,
Like I say, he's smooth. He's got all the routes. He's got the complete route tree. So he's just not an explosive individual player, and he'll go across the middle too. So I mean, we're here in Big Ten country, so we've seen a lot of Tate.
yes, 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 yes. Made a lot of impact over his time at Ohio State. And I agree with you. He is more Jackson Smith and Jigba, more Ibeka Amoka than
Hmm.
Maserati Marv, right? And that
Right,
would be
right.
my concern, right? He's built more like Marv, but I think he plays more like Smith and Jigba. So I think he has a chance to be really successful in Tennessee. And you're right, getting um, Ward a weapon was important for them in this draft. Let's move on to talk about the next guy. Pick at number 5, Arvell Reese, an edge from Ohio State. What do you know and think about this pick for the New York Giants?
So before I talk about this pick, just because we've gone back to back with Ohio State players, Ohio State have four players in the top 19. So
And that's 3 out of the top 5.
yeah. Uh, so with Reese at edge for the Giants, uh, I think it's going to end up being like a hybrid edge, off-ball linebacker type. I can see him fitting in pretty well with the Giants. Uh, Again, the Giants have so many needs right now. Um, I'm not upset with the pick. I think it's a great pick for them.
Yeah,
I would have liked to seen a little something on the offensive side for them as far as like the line and what they're doing because with the quarterback and the running back that they have, I mean they're looking to play some smash mouth football. So, but yeah, I think he's going to be a great addition for the Giants.
yeah. Ansel Carter is the name I was trying to think of last week when we were talking about the subject we were just talking about drafting uh, the best athlete, even though he may be at a position you don't have a need at. And I think that's the case here with the Giants. They just keep drafting edge players. Right? They are stacked with edge players. They drafted Carter second overall last year. Um, they drafted Thibodeau fifth overall in 21. They signed, is it Brian Burns? Was he the edge that they signed? So they've got talent on the edge, man. They just keep adding more edge players. So they'll always be able to attack the quarterback. So yeah, I like that. And just keeping that theme, we're taking the best player available, and he
Right.
plays a premium position, right? So move on to number 6, the first trade of the draft. Cleveland making a trade with Kansas City. The Chiefs moving up to take Mansoor Delane, a cornerback out of LSU. Tell me what you know about Delane and what you think about that pick.
Yeah, so for Kansas City, Kansas City looked at this first round and said, you know what we need to do? We need to double down on defense. So for them, hey, this is a great pick. They needed somebody in that defensive backfield. This guy's a great cover. He's great at the top. If he's out of position, he's got great speed to recover. He can plaster receivers. So that was a no-brainer for them, especially with them trying to beef up the defense. I think Kansas City realized that they just can't rely on Patrick Mahomes to go out here and create. So we're just gonna they'll probably pick up some offensive pieces in free agency and go from there. But them focusing on the defense and then going with Delane as the first pick for them this year, I think that's a good position for them.
I meant to say this at the start. I didn't get into this much at the start. The talking about the importance of the draft. The draft is the lifeblood of every successful team. You cannot be successful unless you are in a salary cap sport, unless you are successful drafting players. And you can't have many misses and still be a good team. I don't think anybody understands that better than Brett Veach and Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs because
Hmm.
they seem to consistently, knowing the price of cornerbacks, feeding their best cornerback to the salary cap and drafting another one. They did the same thing with they had Legarius Sneed. They drafted Trent McDuffie. Contract's up for Sneed. He's gone. McDuffie, they selected his fifth-year option, so he only played 5 years for the Chiefs. They fed him to the cap. They draft a cornerback at the top of the draft the next year. The only way you can remain competitive and successful is by drafting guys, by being successful in the draft and drafting difference making players. And nobody seems to understand that more than the Chiefs. They understand the need at corner, how corner and edge players are so important. You see them draft a lot of those on defense a lot. So I think they're just continuing in their theme of we think we can draft the next starting cornerback for us to impact the team.
Right.
And moving on at number 7, the Washington Commanders. Man, I wish they had stayed with the football team. I just love the Washington football team. The Washington Commanders select Sonny Styles. He's another one of those guys who people were saying, regardless of position, may be the best player in this draft, the best athlete in this draft. He's a big dude. He's 6'5", 244. Tell me what you know about Sonny Styles.
I mean, you said it, 6'5", 244, but this guy ran a 4.46 in the 40. He jumped 43 and a half inches in the vertical, posting an 11-foot, 2-inch long jump, broad jump. Dan Dan Quinn got a beast for a linebacker.
Yes, he did.
And I
Yes, he
know
did.
that Washington Commanders were he had been kind of tied to them since early on in the draft, as far as draft coverage and stuff like that. They
Hmm.
got their guy, man. This dude's gonna be a player for 8 to 10 years and just be a beast. So we joke about Pro Bowls, but he's not gonna be handed a ticky tack Pro Bowl.
Right,
Definitely,
right. He might not. He's he's not going to be getting any Shador Sanders Pro Bowls. I agree.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But I think as a player, if you're looking for comps, you're probably comping him to like a Fred Warner, right? Um,
yeah.
and I think he
That's
started out as a safety,
he started
so
out as a safety. Yes, yes.
you got somebody that could probably end up eventually be the green dot for you. So I this is a killer pick for the Commanders.
Yeah, a lot of people say he plays like Fred Warner. Like you said, that's been the comp for him. He
Yep.
reminds me, man, just as a prospect, he reminds me a lot of Micah Parsons when Micah came out. People devalued him because they called him an off-ball linebacker. He's a football player, man. You put guys like that on the field and you let them play football. They play the game regardless of position, right? So I think he can have that kind of impact. where he can rush the passer, he can play the middle of the field. He's played some safety, so he can cover tight ends. It'll be interesting to see how they use him. Will he be their Mike, or is he going to be more of a Will and they freelance with him and bring him off the edge a little more? It'll be interesting to see how Dan Quinn uses him. And then the number 8 pick is wide receiver Jordyn Tyson, going to the New Orleans Saints from Arizona State, Jordyn Tyson. So tell me what you know about Jordyn.
Well, yeah, I feel for the young man.
Tell me why.
Just the Saints. Oh my goodness, man. They're not going to be a good team next year. But hey, he has a great opportunity to team up with Chris Olave, be that second. Um, but man, I'm just not a fan of the Saints at all. I mean, who's that quarterback?
Tyler
Sloth,
Shuck. Shuck.
Shook.
Yeah, Tyler Shuck. Yeah, yeah.
Man, I don't, man. I just whew, look
Yeah.
away.
You can't trust a guy who pronounces GH as a K, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, he's a big guy, man. He, 6'2", 203 pounds. Big solid guy with big hands, man. I think he can help the team. I think he can help give them another weapon down there. I think Mickey Loomis does a fine job with the Saints. They have been stuck in the middle for quite some time since Drew Brees retired. They
Yeah.
still haven't, they've had some they've had some big contracts that they haven't just let go. They're on the opposite end of where Kansas City is. They're afraid to feed the salary cap, right? They're hanging on to their veteran players. So like you said, what is hanging on to all those veteran players doing for them other than helping them be 7-10 every year at their best, right?
Right.
At some point, it is time to retool.
Yeah.
And I think they're getting closer. They're trying to do it on the fly, but they still think they've got some veteran players on their O and D lines that it's time to get those contracts off the books and get some younger talent in there and start to try to rebuild this thing. And I think Tyson can help them along that way.
Yeah, I think for Tyson can be, if you get into the red zone, he could be that touchdown threat for you,
Mhm.
definitely because of the big body. But I'll say this, Drew Brees is 10 years past retirement. I mean, how long has it been? And then we're 3 or 4 years since Sean Payton.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
But this is really only what, the third year since Derek Carr? No, this is only the second year since Derek Carr. Um, and you had Derek Carr high on your court.
but it's not that Derek Carr was the problem. It's the organization.
Yeah. Like I
It's
said,
the,
I think they kind of hung on to some of those veteran players who played with Breeze a little too long, and I'm a
but you
big
know what they
fan.
did? They did pick up ETN, right?
Travis Etienne, yes, yeah,
Travis
Echan,
ETN, E
E
E
Achan.
Echan,
He says it's pronounced Achan. Travis
Echan.
Achan.
So they have, yeah. I'm a wait and see,
I'll wait and
man.
see.
I'm a wait and
when
see. I'm excited about ETN there and people pronouncing his name correctly. I think there's something to it when you can feel comfortable with people knowing who you are and that type of thing, like just knowing how to pronounce your name might be a big deal for him. But it's not going to help him get yards if they don't have a offensive line.
yeah, your name is going to be ETN until you start producing differently, my God.
So for a second there, I had a sliver of hope, but no, I'm not. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it with the Saints. Not doing it.
But
Good
so
luck.
you're
Good
taking
luck, Tyson.
you're taking the Cat Williams approach. I'll wait. Yeah.
Oh, exactly. I'll sit back here and wait.
Yeah.
I'll wait. Hey,
All
wait and
right,
see.
let's move on. The the next set of picks in the draft, the number 9 pick, and this is the pick that Cleveland received from Kansas City. So Cleveland moved down from 6 to 9 to pick up a few extra draft picks later in the draft, and they select Spencer Fano. They select the first offensive lineman, a tackle out of Utah. So what do you know about Fano as a prospect?
Look, 6'5", 311 pounds. Hey, look, if we're trying to protect the
That's a
quarterback,
nice start, isn't it?
that's a nice start.
And you
That's a
know
nice
what?
start.
You can't teach 6'5", 311, can you?
No, you can't. And he's Polynesian?
Right? I was gonna say that about the next two guys. These big Polynesian boys are
He
making
got some
different
wheels.
plays. You, you know they do. You know they are big and athletic.
Big and athletic. So definitely the Browns needed to address the offensive line. They did it here. This guy is just going to be phenomenal to watch. I'm excited to see this. And for the Browns, they're not in the NFC North, but they're a Midwest team, so I love watching the Browns.
Yeah,
You know,
I
I
hear
I
you.
grew
I
up
hear
watching the
you.
Browns, so I love me some Browns. So let's get it.
Yeah, they're on the other side of the lake. We're on the west side of Lake Erie. They're over on the east bank. So yeah, I follow Cleveland sports too. I'm with you on that. The reports for him were so mixed, man. People felt like he was the most productive offensive lineman, if you will, in this group, but people were concerned about his arm length, right, and his ability to play tackle with short arms, and they thought he may be more of a guard. But if he goes in at guard and he's Joe Tooney eventually, then yeah, that's a guy. Offensive linemen who move people are a premium. And some people say you can draft a tackle that high, but not a guard. Hey, if
Hmm.
he goes out there and he knocks people around, even if he's a road grader, you can run the ball behind him. There just aren't a lot of guys like that. And if he can be elite at that, then yeah, you go ahead and draft that guy. Then the next guy was another big Polynesian out of the University of Miami. He's 6'5", 329. And this was a trade that Cincinnati made with the Giants. The Giants moved up to take Francis, how do you pronounce his name? Mauigoa?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Look, Giants, and I think we were just talking about the Giants as far as needing some offensive talent to
Yep,
protect that quarterback.
yep,
This is a good start. I mean, 6'5", 329 pounds. The the draft analysis says that he's light on his feet at 323 pounds. So all this you got to wait to see how these things play out, but it looks
yes.
like a great fit for them, right?
I agree.
On
Yeah, I
paper.
like it's never go wrong drafting big, physical, athletic offensive linemen. And he looks like another one with big, huge hands too. He does look like more of a tackle, right?
Right.
With the long arms and just he's built like, or you want to listen to his numbers, he sounds like Panay Sewell. Panay Sewell
Hmm.
was 6'5", 330 coming out. Just big, huge human beings. Then with the number 11 pick, the Dallas Cowboys select what people have regarded as the best safety in this draft, Caleb Downs. So tell me what you know about Caleb Downs and what you think the impact will be of him on the Cowboys.
I think for the Cowboys, it's a good move for them. They're trying to shore up that defense. They're still kind of reeling from the trade that Jerry Jones did with Green Bay. Still, still looking for some pieces to replace that one individual. But as a safety, he looked like he's a legit safety. So I think it's a good move for the Cowboys. I mean, where are you at on it? I didn't see him play a lot because he's from what?
No, he went to Ohio State. He's under.
Ohio State.
He's a player, and he may be the best safety in this draft. People compare him to. They talk about him, Hamilton from the Ravens as his comp. He doesn't seem to be the long, lean athlete that my man is with the Ravens, but he seemed to always be around the football, right? Just in the middle of the field, always around the football. I think he will have some impact for them. It'll be, like I said, with all of these guys, be interesting to see his progress, his development as he moves forward, because he was the number 11 pick. Miami would pick that number 12, and those two swap picks. It's like the Cowboys made a traded some lower picks to move up one spot to make sure they got downs. So he's
Yeah,
definitely their guy, right? Interesting that they would make a trade to go up one spot that they were afraid other people may try to get ahead of them to take downs. So he was their guy. They targeted him. They wanted him. And he is a good football player. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out for them. And then the next pick that as part of that trade was a polarizing pick I've heard in this draft, right? And that's one Kadyn Proctor. This guy is 6'6" and 5'8". He's almost 6'7", and he's down. He got his weight down this year to 352. And he played at 352 this year. This dude has been as high as 385. So, Kadyn Proctor, tell me what you know about Kadyn Proctor.
look, he's a multi-year starter at Alabama, and Miami has a new quarterback in Malik Willis. You just need some big bodies out there protect Malik. That's what I'm looking at. I think it's a huge. I think he's got huge upside, huge potential, right?
Yes,
But
yes.
you're Miami. You're picking at 12. I think you got the guy that you want. I mean, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think a lot of people had him rated as the best tackle in the draft, right? Some people
Hmm.
said Fano was, um, uh, but a lot of people like his athleticism, right? Like I said, the guy's almost 6'7", and he weighed close to 400 pounds at one time. Like I said, he's down to 352, and he's pretty athletic. Like I said, he's a 4-year starter at Alabama. And one thing I know about Southern boys, right? He's just a big collard green and cornbread eating country boy.
Right, right, right.
They just need to get him I think getting with an NFL team on an NFL regimen. People are concerned he may eat himself out of the league. I'd like to think that he's a young man in development and starting to get himself into the kind of condition that he can be a great player. The fact that he isn't still at 380, I think, is positive for him. If they ever can get him down to about 335, I think he could be a flat out beast. And even if he stays around 350, he's so tall it might be hard to make him a guard. But then he may be more of a right tackle than a left tackle. But I think a guy that big, that athletic, I think can play and stick if he can keep his weight under control. Then we move on to pick number 13, one of the polarizing picks that we even talked about last week. And that was the Rams making the trade to move up to number 13 to take quarterback Ty Simpson. Tell me what your thoughts are there.
Yeah, I think we addressed this a little bit last week. Like you said, Ty Simpson is 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 it controversial? It might be, but for him to go to the Rams, it's another situation where we talked about this earlier with Mendoza. You have a quarterback that is going to be a Hall of Famer,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So you can sit behind him, learn from him, get into the system, McVay system, and really. grow and look forward to starting in the next 2 years or 3 years, or how long Stafford's going to stay. Um, I I'm not mad at the pick. I think a lot of people that were kind of less, how can I say it? A lot of people that were more negative on him
Hmm.
felt like he wasn't even a first day
Right,
pick,
right,
right? But at the same time, how who else is out there,
right.
right? And I think it's a great, he falls into a great situation. And I think for the Rams to sit back and say, and you talked about how the current players that are on the Rams in the locker room are like, so we're just putting on the next 2 seasons because we didn't bring anybody to help us get over the hump. But if you're the organization in McVay, you're looking like, hey, if this guy hits, we got our next quarterback for the next 10 years, and we can build and become a dynasty. So I think it's
Yeah,
great.
I agree with everything you said, and it has to work out that way for the Rams. This was an organizational pick, right? Because
Yes.
it's hard to sell this pick in the locker room. I was going to say, I have yet to hear a former player say that they were happy with that pick. Every single one of them said they feel the guys in the locker room feel some kind of way about it, right? Even some of the former Steelers talking about how a lot of them felt when Roethlisberger was toward the end and they decided to draft Mason Rudolph, right? It's kind of,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
we could have used a player there, not that it ever became a big issue with the team, but some of the guys kind of looked at it sideways, right? They kind of looked at it probably the same way they do when you draft a player that plays their position, because for everybody, they're a year older, right? And it's, hey, I've only got so many of these and I left, and I can't waste any of them. So it'll be interesting to see how the whole thing plays out. Because if it plays out and he becomes the quarterback they think he is, nobody will ever remember. Nobody will talk about, I should say, the fact they moved up in the draft to get him. But if he doesn't, it will always be talked about. Uh, Go ahead. You were going to say something?
No, no.
Another thing, this when I look at Ty Simpson as a football player, though, this makes me think those Kyle Shanahan, the people on the Kyle Shanahan coaching tree, is the model for them and their offense Brock Purdy? Because that's what I see when I see Ty Simpson. I see Brock Purdy. Um, and it made
Yeah.
me think when the Vikings drafted JJ, did they see Brock Purdy? And I'm thinking that kind of accurate athletic quarterback, even though he may be undersized, if he's athletic and he can get 2 first downs a game with his feet and he's accurate with the football, in our scheme, he can be effective. And I think that's what they're hoping with Ty Simpson.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that point because I see that in Ty Simpson. Yeah.
The next guy, this dude is one of the newest entries to my all name team. And if I can pronounce it, it's Olai Vavinga Yayone. Olai Vavinga Yayone.
There you
Yayane.
go.
That's how you pronounce it. Yayane. That's it.
There you go. Baltimore Ravens. Uh,
Another big Polynesian, right?
exactly. So basically, the Baltimore Ravens are quietly rebuilding their offensive line here. So,
Yes, they are. And this guy is more of a guard. He's more of a role grading guard. Um,
yep.
he may even, I think it would be hard for rookies to play center, but I think he eventually could be their center.
Yeah. He's an aggressive, I don't want to say dirty, but he's an
Yeah,
aggressive, gritty, um, get after it type of player. And I feel like the Ravens have missed that the last few years, right? The Ravens seem more of a timid team and they
Mm.
don't have those dogs out there. This guy's going to be a dog. So yeah, I think it's gonna, yeah, like I said, Ravens are quietly rebuilding that offensive line. Be ready.
This dude's gonna be a road grader. He's gonna knock people
Yep.
around. He's gonna make you check your mouthpiece for sure.
Right.
And then at number 15, we've got Rueben Bain Jr., an edge from the University of Miami, going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You think about Ruben Bain.
Yeah. So I'm always a little hesitant when someone is kind of a hometown guy. I know it's
Mm,
Miami to Tampa, but that's still kind of close for me. That kind of reminds me of like what Charles Rogers went from Flint to
right.
Michigan State to
Uh,
to the Lions, but um, he might have the highest upside in this first round as far as like an edge rusher. He might be able to. You get somebody like that in the middle round like that. He could have a lot of upside. So I think it's a slight gamble for them, but it's Miami. They needed some pieces. So
it's Tampa.
it's it's Tampa. Yeah, they need
Yeah,
some pieces.
yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm always concerned about players being drafted by their hometown team too. It's different to me if they've been drafted by another team, they've gone off and learned how to be a professional, what it takes to be a professional and stick in the
Hmm.
league, and then to go to their hometown team. I think those guys have performed differently. But guys drafted by their home team, I'm with you. That makes me a little nervous. Um, he worked with Jason Taylor down at the University of Miami. Uh, People feel like he's got a lot of upside. He's built a lot like Dwight Freeney to me. He's not very tall. He's got a thick lower half. So his speed and getting under big linemen will be a key, and how good he is at that. And then the number 16 pick was a trade with the Indianapolis Colts, trading the number 16 pick to the Jets, who moved up to select Kenyon Sadiq, a tight end from Oregon. Tell me what you know about Sadiq and what you think he will do for the New York Jets.
So I'm not quite sure what the Jets were thinking here, taking a tight end because they took a tight end last year, right?
Yes,
And I think they're both a little undersized. Like I think he is what 6'3", maybe 220, somewhere in there.
yeah, he is to me his he's one of those hybrids. He's like what's my man's name with the Lions?
Oh, Tesla.
Not Tesla.
Uh,
The one they call a tight end.
I know who you're talking. Kennedy.
Laporta. He's a
Laporta.
lot
Okay.
like Laporta with the Lions. He is more of an H back, right? More
Okay.
of an H back than a tight end.
Right, right.
He won't be probably won't be lined up on the line of scrimmage, taking on tackles and linebackers, but he'll be more of a move guy, lead blocker kind of guy, and a guy with great hands. So
Yeah.
quarterback,
It's interesting. It's
quar-
interesting because you got a new offensive coordinator for the Jets and Frank Reich. So I'm not sure what they're thinking about and what this offense is going to look like, but I'm surprised by that pick.
yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, that kind of tells me they're going to be and a lot of 12 personnel. I think you're going to see a lot of teams with a lot of 12 personnel. All right, so that takes us through pick 16. So we're going to actually end the show here at pick 16. We're going to pick up and do picks 17 through 32 next week. So tell us, my man, go ahead and put a bow tie on this episode.
All right. Hey, friends and kinfolk, we appreciate you hanging out with us. You know, Will and I love talking football, but when we're not breaking down the NFC North or the draft, we're helping people buy, sell, and invest in real estate. If you have questions about your next move, Don't fumble the ball. Contact us for a winning real estate game plan. Fellas, share the pod with your buddies. Ladies, share it with your crew. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't be a knucklehead. Drop us that 5-star rating.
Yes, drop that 5-star rating. Hey, we appreciate all the comments from our friend and kinfolk. We love all the comments. Looking forward to seeing more of that from you. And folks, we will see you next time.
Yes, sir.